So, hey, I'm Kent. I'll be the MC for the remainder of our time here today. How's it going? Before I continue, I want to give a big shout out to a guy named Jonathan Palmer. He's back there behind the screen. He's the dude behind the curtain making all this stuff happen and making us look good. So, Jonathan, thank you very much. Big shout out to him.
You're welcome.
It would look like amateur hour without that. So, yeah, I hope you guys are doing good today. It's a nice day here in Denver, a little bit chilly, but the sun is shining. So, this is a really interesting time that we're getting together for this. We kind of sense that, mainstream adoption is really coming. A lot of people are getting involved. One of the most unique groups of people or market segments, if you will, that's starting to really jump into crypto is artists and musicians. Crypto has empowered a whole new culture or a way of, for creative people to thrive and, earn money from their art in an entirely new way. So, of course, these are NFTs. The challenge with NFTs right now, I was talking to a artist on Twitter last night, digital artist, and he let me know that minting an NFT currently is $200 on the main chain for Ethereum. So clearly, this is an opportunity for scalability to step in, whether it's layer 2 on the mainnet or whether it's scalable blockchains. So that's going to be the focus of our next talk. We're going to hear from Nate at Mintbase. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys have worked on Ethereum as well, but you're also using Near, which has some nice scalability properties. So we're going to hear all about that today.
Yeah, definitely. We've been on Ethereum mainnet for 2.5 years now. And we came to that moment in August where we realized deploying a store shouldn't cost that much money. So yeah, I'll definitely explain all the things in this giant rainbow of knowledge I'm hopefully going to dump on everyone.
Right on, man. I'll leave you to it. Thank you.
Sweet. Can you see my screen all right?
Yeah, looks great.
Neat. All right, Rusty, Mintbase NFTs on Near. This has been my sole life mission since August. I've always had sort of a dream of what NFTs would be, and so right now we're going to go down a bit of a story. There's going to be some code, some sort of, but the bigger picture is kind of hoping to wrap your brains around why we chose Near, why we're on Near, what we think about Near, and show you what's going on. So. Essentially, I'm pretty proud of this thing. We've been on mainnet for about 2.5 years. The story has been pretty neat, from doing the Metacartel demo day tickets to NFT NYC to where we're at now. And I'm pretty excited about this system. So what is Mintbase? On Ethereum, we have 1,014 stores. That means that each one of our stores is a smart contract deployed by our users. So that's a lot of stores. In each store, I think at this point is now $300, $400 to $800 to deploy. So that obviously isn't a good process. We have over 82,000 transactions. A lot of folks probably new in the NFT space haven't heard about us because we're kind of the source of people who mint and then they get sold on OpenSea or Rarible and moved around the ecosystem without really coming back to us. We've been very focused the last 6 months on just solving this gas problem because the way Ethereum layer 1 is today isn't my dream of what NFTs can do in the future. So to give you an overview of what Mintbase is, it's a pretty complex beast if you get down to it. We're super DIY. We're not so good at the support system. People are always asking us questions, but at the end of the day, it's sort of figure it out. Now that we've actually raised our first seed round, we'll be beefing up the support system, but it's pretty complicated. A user comes onto our system, they deploy a smart contract, they mint NFTs on that contract. All NFT metadata files, whether it's legal documents, sound files, game documents, all get stored on Arweave. And you can deploy as many stores. In every single store, your own smart contract, you can organize and aggregate. And so that has been the mission for quite a while. If Mintbase dies tomorrow, there's always the goal that your contracts and your NFTs will live on. That's been our sole mission from the beginning. and we're still staying true to that world. So where are we at? So we are super focused on purposeful NFTs. We want these things to do stuff. We're seeing NFTs being sold for $2-3 million. Honestly, I'm not that interested in that sort of world. It's just numbers going from one place to another. It's not really innovative. As soon as we start checking people in for planes or for doing all the other millions of things we can do with these things, that's when I'm going to get hyper excited. And that's our focus, is purposeful NFTs. So we built a crypto voxel advent calendar. The goal is we have all these different companies coming together, and hopefully all these NFTs can move and groove. If it's $15 to do a transaction, you can't really use the NFTs. It just sort of sits in your wallet, and that's the end of it. So what we've done is, yeah, here we are. So I just took this screenshot today. Lenara, awesome lady, and Chloe the dev, they wrote in our Telegram channel, they wrote a bot that basically you can write gas to mint, and it'll basically tell us what the prices are. And today I did this, and we have $78 to mint one NFT, and then to deploy a contract, it's $1,092. That's bananas. So obviously there's a problem here. I saw some people were trying to create shirts and stuff, right? So imagine minting one NFT to sell a shirt when the shirt costs $12. That just doesn't make a ton of sense. So yeah, and today I think it was $15 to just transfer and trade one NFT. Why is it this much money? It's because anytime you change the blockchain state, you have to pay the piper. And that is this wholly congested thing that we've got. What do I need for my NFTs? So I wrote a blog post about why we chose Near. I kind of dove down into Matic and XDAI and Flow and all these other different groups. And at this point, we're 6 months deep. I'm still quite happy that we're jumping in here. I need the chain to be decentralized. So I think right now, Near has over 90 or has over 60 nodes the last I checked running. That's a pretty beefy system. I need to see all the transactions on chain. So when you see a lot of other platforms and they're doing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes on their own servers, it's kind of going backwards with where we're heading. We want to see as many transactions on chain, because this revolution that we have on blockchain is that it's all transparent. I see a bunch of, Flow. I see a bunch of wash trading going on, right, on Rarible. That's an open thing. But you know what's neat about Rarible is that they're on a chain. And so we can see the wash trading happen. So it's nice. You can go and you can call BS, but at the end of the day, they're on a chain. Other platforms that aren't doing that, it's less neat. So I will give them credit for that. I need to see the ownership of whoever owns the NFT at all times. If one wallet stores all of it and they're doing this custodial thing, then it kind of ruins the flair of what an NFT is. It needs to be affordable. I need to be able to move these things around. It needs to be interoperable. That's a big one. Multiple sites need to be able to use my NFT. Some other stuff, upgradability and proof of stake. Okay, so what I built on Near. So Near, I'm going to kind of go into the process of what was neat and what's not so neat. So I had to build. So, oh boy. So on the graph, this thing saved my butt. I rewrote all of Mintbase, this guy, over to the graph. This is what keeps our entire application up to date. So you can come in here, you can write DAppCon. Let's see, DAppCon. So here's the smart contract. You can get all the information, the token, who owns what token. Our entire interface runs off of this thing. So the real stinky thing about Near is that you don't have that on their system. But what we do have is I wrote this Rust indexer. Well, they wrote the Rust indexer. Jasper from Flux made it a little bit better, and then I made it to what it is we have today. So I basically built the graph off of this thing. So what you're looking at right now is a Rust indexer that's going through all the different block heights. So you can see the last one is 6280. So if I come into here and we jump into testnet, so you can see it's fully synced 6293, and these blocks fly. I think we're flying at like one every 1.5 seconds or something like that. So a lot different from the from the 30-second to 2-minute times you get on Ethereum. Okay, so let's dive into what is Mintbase. So when I said everyone gets to deploy their own store, so this is on Mintbase. Here's the smart contract deployed by Unitize. They own this contract. We can see everything. We can see who the holders. We can't destroy this contract. You can see all the different functions, and we can see who the holders are. This is the kind of the future that we're pushing, is that you should own your own contract as if you're deploying your own dApp in your own store. Okay, so what did we build on Mintbase? So here it is. This is going to be the new one. We're kind of showing it for the first time. I'm pretty excited about it. And this is kind of the quick overview. So here's all my different smart contracts that I deployed myself. Each one, here's all my different NFTs that I've been given. We can jump into, let's say, full node. This is where, love full node to death. If you ever make it out to Berlin, this is where basically we built Mintbase. Props to Gnosis for building this out. But here's all my different smart contracts. I can flip through them as if it was just a normal website, right? But this is so much deeper than that. Let's go deploy a store. Maybe we call this ETHDenver. We'll give it EDV. So right now we're going to deploy a store on Near. And what we're about to watch is, let's see if, so here's my indexer. As soon as we deploy this store, we're actually going to see data spit out of this. So every time we make an interaction with the contract and you see that update on the interface, that isn't done locally. That's a VM in the cloud is basically going to register that from the chain. Then that's going to go to a Postgres database. Then that's going to get logged to a Hashira database. And we're going to pull from that, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to seed this account with 43 Near tokens, paying for storage. And so you'll see, there it is. The data gets spit out. We've logged it. So now in my minter, you can see ETHDenver. Here it's just populated in my little guy. So if we want to mint a token, we come in here. I'm going to just close the indexer. You guys believe me at this point. And we are going to, I think I have an ETHDenver. Where are we at? ETH. Oh, there you are, ETHDenver. Here we go. Okay, so we're uploading data to Arweave. So now we're working with 2 different blockchains right now. We'll just say this is the guy. We'll make him pretty with some nice Lorem Ipsum. We're going to give it a tag, ETHDenver. We'll mint 2 of them, or 5, why not? Now let's do 2. We can add all sorts of other different pieces of data, but to save time here, I'm just going to rip through it. Okay, so this is how fast this is going to be on mainnet as well. So as soon as I click allow, it goes, my indexer pulls this data, it saves it to Hashira, and then my interface just pulls it from that, nothing local. And that's how quick that actually loaded up. So what we did on our indexer is we just saved to a Postgres file. And so I'm using Hashira, which is a pretty neat little piece of technology, which converts all of our Postgres stuff to this thing that we're all used to on the graph. So I just created this thing called ETHDenver mintplace.testnet. And you can see we have 0, which I clicked before, but now I can click this. And you can see now we have all these different bits of information. I can say name. So Mintbase does their system in a pretty simple way. We have 3 bits of data. We have store, things, and tokens. So, and so this will be available to everyone once we actually go live. So you'll notice store, things, tokens. So a thing could be a cup of coffee, and then there could be several tokens that reference one thing. So if we actually go into the graph, you'll notice here's us. Our entire system works exactly the same way. We have store, thing, tokens. So we'll be able to bridge our Ethereum assets with our Near assets quite easily. And so when the Rainbow Bridge comes into play, that'll be quite a fun process. Okay, so now we have our own smart contract stored on Arweave. If we want, we can even come in here and try and figure out what is this. So we take this ID, and then I go into arweave.net /this guy. So what we're interested in is I can't change this data. You can't change it. The minter can't change it. Nobody can change this data. I think that's what really makes an NFT quite interesting. We can even see our little dude. There he is. What I can do also in Arweave, I can come in here, put a little transaction. We can actually see when this thing got mined. It's still pending, so it's still going through that little process. But if you actually want to get the mined data, that's where you would get it. Okay, so let's go back to, oh yeah, we also have day mode. Sometimes you don't really want, you know, that night mode stuff. Let's, oh. There we go, our market. Okay, so all my stores, hopefully everybody's tracking what we got going on here. Okay, and fractions of a penny to mint these things. This is a whole different world. Let's go into, what should we do? I think we should, let's list an item for sale maybe. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go here. Let's go into the market. Let's figure out what we've deployed. Okay, so none of that. Okay, so listing an item for sale. So our entire market is built from the ground up with this system we're calling split revenues, split royalties. It's really interesting when you can learn a lot from Ethereum and build a marketplace based on all of your learnings. So I think that's going to be really powerful. We can come in here and we can list. So what if I want to list this for 12 mirror tokens? I have 15 of these items. And here's my addresses. Let's say maybe the designer of this shoe should get maybe 2% of every time this shoe gets sold. Or yeah, let's go 1%. So maybe I'm Nate Geier testnet. Nate Geier if I can spell right. So we can actually add as many as we want. So this can go in any different direction. Let's say you are creating a video and people can actually buy the video, and you can say, well, the boom person, the promoters, all these different humans, you have stakeholders in this asset. And as it gets purchased for a ticket or for a gaming asset or for both at the same time, these people will get revenues and royalties every time they get listed and sent. So here we go again. We will click allow. Okay. So what is the big deal about having your own going back into the market? So now we just listed our shoe. So another big deal is all of our NFTs, we have this focus on purpose. So purposeful NFTs. An NFT can be used as many different things. We always make a reference to tickets. Like, great, I have a ticket, it gets me into a conference. That's just use Eventbrite, right? But anybody can actually use that NFT to do whatever they want. Let's say I'm a video game production system, and I want to say whoever's the owner of that ticket for this next 2 months, you will actually get a faster character. And so the goal of our market is really going to be showing the liquidity. And what the liquidity is isn't always monetary. It's about, wow, that makes my character run faster. It gets me into a conference. I can stay at a co-working space for that week. This is the prime focus of our system. So when they submit their token and collaborate within the split fee system, these groups can actually even link to their own internal blogs that says what the actual thing can do. So that's quite exciting. So Mintbase is really getting a step up in prettyfication. So here's going to be your store. So if we come in here, we can see it's nice and pretty. This one works well with white, but maybe we want to go into our Max Festival, a hardcore heavy metal. You know, they don't want to show up in all this whiteness, so they can just, you know, cruise in the black, and we're good to go. Plus, getting that dark mode at nighttime, it kind of hurts me. Every time I get into a dark website, I always say thank you for having dark mode when my computer shifts to the night switch. We also have a lot prettier system. So we have a system for following and a system for the whole social aspect. Quite exciting. We can drag and drop thanks to Louis. Louis is one of our awesome developers who's been cranking with me. It's been so nice having a team. We just hired two developers, Thor, who's on the Rust side, Luis, who is on the other side. I've literally been developing this by myself for 2.5 years. It is just so exciting having other humans take part in this process. So you're going to get your own graph piece. So what is our goal? Our goal is you deploy your contract, you decide what the contract does, and that contract can create lots of revenue. So kind of think of us as a nifty gateway or superware factory where you get to deploy, you can add mentors to your contract, and you can create whatever system you want out of it. And we're going to create easy tools for you to basically check who's the owner of this token, how do I move it, where do I move it, and so we'll go from there. Rust, I have probably spent a full 3 weeks of my whole life really cranking on Rust. Thank God I have a crypto Thor who has been cranking on converting our smart contract store factory and the market system. It's very complex, and I'm very excited. But from why we picked Near, for me personally, was because they're using Rust. Rust is a fascinating language. It's one of the most loved languages by GitHub's polling, and I totally get it. So I've been developing since 2007, 8. I started in ActionScript 3, then JavaScript, and then TypeScript. When I really understood types, I would literally never go back to JavaScript. If someone said, "Hey man, you gotta write some JavaScript right now," I'd just say, "Why don't we just write the whole thing in jQuery? You know, this isn't the direction." It's like going back to before we had linters, and it's an amazing system. So I figure, well, if types have done this much of an awesome mind expansion, then Rust might be really, really amazing. And so the little bit that I've been diving into, it's pretty neat. Plus, Polkadot is also doing that. Okay, so NFTs and purpose. That is the focus. We don't care if you sell a token on our system for $200 million. We care that the token does something and that multiple people can use it and it gives the world more value. That's our prime goal, and I'm pretty excited about our move. I don't think I even showed you what a contract actually looks like. If we go into, let's jump into, okay, so let's go into some more Near stuff. So here, every time I switch to different night mode. Okay, so we just deployed ETHDenver, right? So we can come in here, we can go into our settings, we can see the transactions. So we get our own little Etherscan. I'm sure all of you guys are kind of used to Etherscan. I love Etherscan a lot, and you can see that I minted a token 10 minutes ago. I don't like these little guys. I think it's a crazy design. I hope they get rid of these little Near cats, but that's my own internal war. Branding is one thing. Hardcore technology is another. So they're doing good at that. So here's this guy. Everything's namespaced. So we deployed our smart contract store factory on mintplace.testnet, and every user that deploys on our platform basically gets a subdomain. And that's a pretty neat system. Let's go. What else we got there? So, don't know what else to show. It's a super complex system, but also really simple and really powerful. And I'm just so excited to actually see people using it. Maybe you want to use it in Mandarin. I'm pretty excited about that too. And it's going to grow. We're going to be deploying on testnet and let people start jumping in starting next week. We have some last minute little this and that to do. Actually, to participate in the system, you will have to own an NFT, a testnet NFT, to actually deploy stores, but anyone will be able to come in and receive test NFTs and move them around and actually check out how the system works on your own time. It'll probably be about a month before the audits start, and yeah, there's the whole road. Should I answer any questions, or what's the view from here? Let's see. Did I have any more stuff? Show me the meat. Yep. Oh yeah. So CreateBase is also quite neat. Come check that out. So Lunara and Chloe, the dev, have been killing it. figuring out what to do with this system. This is basically our channel for people to start really experimenting and figuring out what the heck we can do, because this is a really weird platform that we just, like, literally, I was talking with Mike Purvis, awesome dude. He showed me an example of how they left private keys out in the open in GitHub, and my brain just started melting. I'm saying, this is a terrible idea. Why would you do that? But this is the way the near account system works. You can actually create accounts every single time they hook up to our system. They create almost a new account. Every connection is a new account. So a certain connection creates a private key that says you're allowed to do X, Y, and Z. So for their Oracle system, literally you can say anyone can load this as their own wallet, but you're only allowed to actually do view. You can't actually pull or liquidate any of the funds from the thing. So there's a lot of weird things we can do with the system, and this is kind of the space for us to start to figure it out. So next week, deploy, and then go through all the hurdles, and then off we go. So, okay, cool. I'm good. You got any questions?
I don't know. We've got the comments up on the right side. You can open up and take a peek through and see if there's any that you'd like to address.
I see both Adam and I are covering. All right, there's some stuff. Looks like an awesome day for Ether. Not so much. All right, well. All right, I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you very much, Nate.